He's blind, or is he? She thought he couldn't see her, but he's been watching everything. Hey friends, today we bring you another amazing movie that will leave you at the edge of your seat. It's not just fascinating, it's highly educative. But before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe for more captivating movies from us. This movie story begins with a young lady named Gabrielle who works as a janitor in a hotel. She was enjoying herself, listening to music, when she accidentally knocked a young man named Desmond to the ground. Embarrassed and angry, she apologized quickly and left without showing her face. But Desmond had already picked up her work ID card. Gabrielle told her colleagues what had happened, and they consoled her, assuring her that all would be all right. When Desmond checked out of the hotel, he gave Gabrielle's ID card to the receptionist and left. At home, Gabrielle's mother scolded her for the incident that led to her being fired. Her job was their only source of survival. Gabrielle apologized, and her mother comforted her, promising they would find a way out. One morning, the manager of the hotel came to their house looking for Gabrielle. Since she wasn't around, her mother offered him a seat. When Gabrielle came in, the manager informed her about a job opportunity to work for a wealthy blind man in Lagos who urgently needed a house help. The salary was 100,000 naira, and she would travel by plane. After he left, Gabrielle's mother was thrilled, but Gabrielle was worried about leaving her alone. Her mother reassured her that she would be fine, and they began to pack her things. Gabrielle was taken to Lagos, and when she arrived at the wealthy man's house, she greeted the gateman. Inside, Desmond welcomed her warmly. She nervously told him how scary her first flight was. The man who brought her left, and Desmond asked Gabrielle to assist him to show her to her room. When they got to her room, Gabrielle was so excited that she danced around him, thinking he couldn't see her, unaware that he was only pretending to be blind. She even called her mom and shared how amazing the place was. Desmond stood smiling quietly and then left for his room. But wait, if he's blind, how did he know what she was doing? The next morning, Gabrielle was in the kitchen making a meal for her boss. As usual, she wore her earphones, blocking out all sounds. When the food was ready, she went to inform Desmond. He was pretending to be on a call and asked her to wait. While waiting, Gabrielle began examining his personal belongings. When Desmond finished his call, he called her several times before she heard him. She finally helped him to the dining room. He complimented her cooking and insisted she join him, which she reluctantly did. Later, Gabrielle gave food to the gateman, who praised her kindness, unlike the other girls Desmond had previously hired. She got tired of his talk and walked away. That night, Gabrielle walked Desmond to his room. He asked her to prepare his towel, nightwear, and other items in the bathroom. Gabrielle, thinking he couldn't see her, used his walking stick and started sampling his clothes. When she was done, she returned everything. Desmond laughed silently. It was all amusing to him. But why is Desmond pretending to be blind? What's his real plan? One day, Desmond gave Gabrielle his ATM card and PIN after she helped him with some calculations. After shopping, she returned and handed it back. Desmond quietly documented his observations about her. On another day, while Gabrielle was cleaning his room and listening to music, she playfully touched his money but placed everything back correctly. Desmond later counted it. Everything was intact. He was impressed. One day, while Gabrielle was helping Desmond down the stairs, his supposed girlfriend stormed in, yelling at him and insulting him for his disability. She demanded 500,000 naira and left. Desmond was devastated, but Gabrielle comforted him. Now here's the twist. What do you think Gabrielle will do when this mysterious girlfriend returns? Let's find out. That night, Gabrielle advised Desmond to break up with his girlfriend, insisting she wasn't the right one for him. Desmond explained that he truly loved her and would try to talk to her again, but if she didn't change, he would end things. Gabrielle was glad to hear that. The next morning, Gabrielle saw Desmond's girlfriend yelling at him again. When she became physical, Gabrielle stepped in, fought her off, and chased her away. Desmond was shocked. Gabrielle led him to his room, encouraged him, and prayed for him, assuring him that a better woman would come his way. After she left, Desmond called Candy, the woman who acted as his girlfriend. Candy, still angry about being beaten by Gabrielle, confessed that she enjoyed being part of the test to find a loyal and trustworthy woman, which she believed Gabrielle was. She warned Desmond to caution his gateman, who almost exposed her identity. Desmond then called his gateman and warned him sternly, threatening to fire him if he ever did such a thing again. That night, Gabrielle was with her boss, expressing how upset she was and insisting on getting Candy's address. The next day, Desmond spoke with Candy in his car. While she tried to convince him that she was qualified to judge Gabrielle, she insisted on conducting one more test before reaching a conclusion. That night, seeing how heartbroken Desmond was, Gabrielle made sure he ate something. She even fed him some fruit with care. Later, a doctor came rushing in to check on Desmond, who claimed to be feeling unwell. The doctor asked Gabrielle to excuse them. Once she left, Desmond and the doctor, whose name was John, began cracking jokes. John was only acting. As he left, the doctor told Gabrielle that Desmond would be fine and should take his medication. Gabrielle ensured that her boss took his drugs. He thanked her and expressed a wish that he could see how beautiful she was. Gabrielle was speechless and quietly left to drop the tray in the kitchen. When she stepped out, she shook her head. Could it be that Gabrielle is falling in love with her boss? And what if she finds out he was pretending all along? Will she still stay? Let's find out. That night, Gabrielle refused to leave her boss's side because she was worried. After giving him water, he insisted she go to bed. She pretended to leave, but stayed nearby. The next morning, she prepared breakfast. Desmond complimented her cooking, and from that day, they began getting along. They laughed, discussed various matters, and bonded more. Meanwhile, Desmond continued noting her personality and behavior. Gabrielle had passed nearly all his secret tests. One day, Desmond opened up to Gabrielle about his feelings and told her he wanted to be friends. Gabrielle didn't say a word, but in her room, she reflected on his words and felt butterflies in her belly. Desmond also felt fulfilled. In the kitchen, Gabrielle danced while cooking, unaware that her boss was watching and dancing along quietly. Later, Gabrielle went to Desmond's room and saw a surprise gift, an iPhone 15 Pro Max and a headset. She was overwhelmed with joy and expressed deep gratitude. She excitedly shared the news with the gateman, and they celebrated the moment together. Gabrielle and Desmond grew closer. Another day, during a meeting with Desmond, Candy tried to convince him that she was perfect for him, but Desmond insisted he wanted to be sure Gabrielle's love for him was genuine. Weeks later, Gabrielle went to the market. A young man named John, CEO of a company, tried to get her number, but she refused and walked away. Unbeknownst to Gabrielle, John was Candy's husband, and Candy was Desmond's cousin. They were all in on the plan together. Later that day, Gabrielle shared the encounter with Desmond and Candy, describing the man who approached her. They brushed it off as unimportant. One day, Desmond was on the phone with Candy, telling her he wanted to send money to appreciate her and John for their help. Unknown to him, Gabrielle had been listening. When she entered the room, Desmond confessed that everything was a test, that he only wanted to be sure she was the right woman for him. Gabrielle was deeply hurt. She left immediately and called her mother, crying, as she began packing her things. Desmond called Candy and told her Gabrielle had found out. Candy and John rushed to talk to her, but realized she had already left. Desmond tried to reach her, but she didn't pick up. Candy and John tried to calm him down, and he quickly called the hotel manager to check if Gabrielle was back home. Gabrielle arrived home in tears and didn't speak a word to anyone. Days later, the hotel manager came to see Gabrielle, but her mother refused to let him in. She scolded him, saying Desmond had no right to play such a cruel game. She explained that true love doesn't need to be tested and told him Gabrielle hadn't been herself since returning. She politely asked him to leave, and he did. Days passed, and Gabrielle remained broken and in pain. Desmond, too, was restless and overwhelmed with guilt. One morning, Gabrielle decided to clean the house. Her mother told her to rest, but she insisted and left. Moments later, Desmond and the manager showed up. Gabrielle angrily sent them away, but Desmond poured out his heart, begging her to forgive him. He admitted that lying to her was wrong, and though his actions weren't justifiable, he only did it because he loved her and was afraid to be hurt. Gabrielle's mother stepped in and encouraged her to forgive him. Gabrielle, though still emotional, agreed, and they reconciled. The moral lesson of this movie is, love is not something to be tested through deceit. It grows in truth, trust, and sincerity. When you find someone loyal and genuine, don't let fear destroy what could be beautiful. Thanks for watching, friends. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more fascinating movies from us. Bye for now.